Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Morning Podcast. Firstly, let's discuss about the market roundup of yesterday's session. Both Sensex and Nifty in yesterday's trade closed with gains of 0.7% each to settle at 74,742.5 levels and 22,666.3 levels, respectively. The broader markets underperformed the benchmarks as the Nifty Mid Cap 100 gained marginally by 0.04% and Nifty Small Cap 100 gained by 0.32% at closed yesterday. Talking about the top 5 gainers and losers of Nifty 50, then top 5 gainers were Eicher Motors, M&M, Maruti, NTPC and SBI Life, while the top 5 losers of Nifty 50 were Adani Ports, Nestle India, Apollo Hospitals, Wipro and Sun Pharma. Moving on to the BSE sectoral performance, then BSE Auto, Oil and Gas and Realty and Metal indices were up by more than 1%. Within that, BSE Auto and Oil and Gas closed with gains of 1.7% and 1.5% respectively. BSE Telecommunication, Healthcare and FMCG Index also closed on the positive side, while BSE IT and BSE Services indices closed with losses of 0.6% and 0.8% respectively. Talking about the overall market breadth, then about 1,898 stocks advanced, and against that, around 2,033 stocks saw decline. About 155 stocks made 52-week highs, which included names like ABB, Bosch, Cochin Shipyard, Avenue Supermarts, Canara Bank, Eicher Motors, etc. And about 5 stocks made 52-week lows, including names like Bata India, Dabur, Gopal Snacks, etc. On the fund flow side, both FIIs and DIIs were net sellers in yesterday's cash market, with FII net selling around 684 crore rupees and DII net selling 3,471 crore rupees yesterday. Moving on to the global market cues for today, then if we firstly see at the US market close, then US market closed on flat side a day ahead of the release of US CPI data. So US CPI inflation number will be released in tomorrow. And if we look into the Asian market cues, most of the Asian markets are currently trading on a higher note. So global cues looks largely supportive. So we can expect a flat to positive start for our market today. Moving on to the stocks which are in focus today. So first one is Axis Bank. Bain Capital is looking to sell its entire stake in Axis Bank through a block deal. So this could be slightly negative for the stock in short to medium term. Yes Bank has received rupees 244 crores from a single trust in the security receipts portfolio after the sale of NPA portfolio to JC Flower ARC in December of 2022. So this can be neutral to slightly positive for Yes Bank in short term. Gland Pharma is also in focus as the shareholder Nycomac Machinery and RP Advisory Services are planning to sell up to 4.9% stake in the company at a floor price of rupees 1,725 per share. Which represents a discount of 7.34% from the current market price. So this can be slightly negative for Gland Pharma in short term. Sula Vineyards has came out with its March quarter business updates, where the company has recorded double-digit revenue growth in the fourth quarter as well as for the whole year of FY24. The net revenues of the company has grown 10% year-on-year at rupees 131.8 crores in the March quarter. Sales from own brands has grown 9% year-on-year, and wine tourism has grown 31% year-on-year for the March quarter. The company has also announced acquisition of ND Wines, the integration of which will get completed in the first quarter of FY25 itself. So overall, the updates are positive from Sula Vineyards. Dilip Bilkon has received order worth rupees 1,092 crores from Haryana Rail Infrastructure Development Corporation on EPC mode. So positive for Dilip Bilkon in short to medium term. SJVN's arm, SJVN Green Energy, has signed a JV agreement with Assam Power Distribution Company to develop renewable energy projects and parks. The arm will hold 51% shareholding in this JV company. So the news is positive for SJVN in medium to long term. Paisalo Digital will hold its board meeting on 12th April to consider fundraising through allotment of NCDs through private placement basis. So that can be positive for Paisalo Digital in short term. IRB Infrastructure Developers has seen a 30% year-on-year rise in its toll revenue for March 2024 at rupees 480.9 crores. The assets under IRB Infrastructure Trust has recorded a 40% increase in the toll collection. So the update is positive from IRB infrastructure developers in short term. UCO Bank has reported total business of rupees 4.5 crores, which is a growth of 9.6% year on year as on 31st March. The total advances have grown 15.9% year on year at rupees 1.87 crores, and the total deposits have grown 5.5% year on year at rupees 2.63 crores. So positive update from UCO Bank as well. PCBL's arm has commissioned 12 megawatts of power plant in Tamil Nadu. The total capacity of the cogeneration power of the company now stands at 122 megawatts. So positive for PCBL in medium to long term. Cupid has reported net revenue growth of 51.6% year on year at rupees 62.9 crores for the March quarter of FY24, and a PAT growth of 185% year on year at rupees 23.7 crores. So very strong numbers from Cupid in short term. Omax is also in focus. The company's unit will develop India's first integrated multi-sport stadium, retail and hospitality hub in Delhi for around rupees 1,500 crores. The cost of construction will be funded through internal accruals, and the company is expecting a revenue of around 2,500 crores through the sale of retail units. So the update is positive for Omax in medium to long term. Hikal has acquired a 5.73% stake in FPEL Ujjwal for rupees 4.12 crores to meet the captive electricity requirements under the Indian Electricity Act of 2003. So neutral to positive for Hikal in short term. Moving on to some of the bulk deals, then in case of RBL Bank, Citigroup Global Markets Mauritius has bought 66.97 lakh shares, that is around 1.1% of the stake, and against that, Copter Mauritius Investment has sold a similar number of shares, that is 1.1% of the stake at rupees 255.4 per share. Also, in case of South Indian Bank, Citigroup Global Markets Mauritius has bought 1.76 crore shares, which is 0.84%. And against that, Copter Mauritius Investment has sold similar 1.76 crore of shares at rupees 28.78 per share. Some of the corporate actions for today are, in case of few stocks, the price band has changed from 20% to 10%. That is in case of Abans Holdings and Indotech Transformers. Also, in case of IMCO Elecon India, the price band has changed from 10% to 5%. A couple of stocks which have moved into the short-term surveillance framework, that is ASM framework, are Action Construction Equipment, Abans Holdings, Coffee Day Enterprises, Gravita India, Indostar Capital Finance, Paramount Communications, Reliance Infrastructure, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, and a few stocks which have moved out of this short-term ASM framework are Indraprastha Medical, Jyoti CNC Automation, and Sangvi Movers. So these were the important market data points to focus for in today's trade. So that's all for the daily morning podcast. Thank you all for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.